Hey y'all, Scott here, back again with AskReddit content. Today we are reading about if you switch on news channel and it shows news of a zombie outbreak on the other side of the world. What are the steps you take to get ensure safety for when it hits your area? Remove the stairs in my house and outside my house. It's all about rope ladders from now on. Buy all the toilet paper. You men, I do prefer to die with a clean soul. How? Much better than any answer I came up with. Lol. It's the end of the world and people are buying toilet paper. I guess they plan to shit themselves to death. Kill all the doomsday preppers and take their loot before they get mine. Lol. Don't forget to bag their bodies. I'm pretty okay with you stealing from preppers. Out of curiosity, why? Put her in my bike tires and get some bite-proof body armor. Put a wagon on my bike and fill it up with cans of baked beans. Right into the woods and build a tree house. Cans of baked beans provide sustenance and are a projectile. If I have time, set up a bunch of bear traps. I don't want any bears to get me. What about some bears though? Draw a predictive circle around yourself in the dirt. All you need is good body armor. Human teeth aren't that good. I don't think you'd care much about the zombies, more about the human roaming around scavenging for supplies. They have other ways to hurt you than teeth, and they can bypass most defense systems. Every zombie story, it's the humans that are the real baddies after all. If this pandemic has done anything, it's reinforced the trope that there will also be someone who is infected in your group who won't say anything and keep quiet until the last possible moment and end up being a danger. Also, infected people have sudden urges to head to the nearest airport. Plan an international series of heists culminating in cracking one of the most famous safes in history, of course. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. You son of a bitch, I'm in. I'll mouth kiss a stranger. Next question. Why? Because why not? Next question. Why open mouth? See previous answer. Probably run to the store and buy as much barbed wire, posts and other fencing material I can, then maybe grab some gun gear stuff, some toilet paper. If I can do that, just grab my partner and our loved ones, pack up and head over to my parents' house. It does not mention food or water, but does mention toilet paper. Here's the thing, guns cause noise. Might be better off with lots of loaded, easy to loot crossbows if your intention is to pick off nearby roaming ones, that is. Guns aren't going to help much except against humans. That's a good plan too. I would use my guns mainly for people attacking my house. I'd use spears or bows for zombies for sure, but mainly spears. I don't think I'd often be in a situation where I needed to hit a zombie from a distance. Become the Flash and run down the street to grab as much stuff as I can, whilst passing my neighbor who already looks like a zombie as it is. Get home, lock everything, shut shit a bunch of times, barricade every door, window X, shut all the curtains, make sure everyone in the house is safe, play video games, have a cup of tea, and wait for all of this to blow over. Get the shovel, time to eat some freaking worms. That's one point I simply don't understand in zombie movies. Insects are a solid food source, and yet every movie people are hunting for canned food, animals, and so on. Make a garden, have some livestock, and eat insects if need be. I'm not saying you're wrong, but if I had to choose between eating insects or a can of beans I found, I would choose the beans every time. Especially because you could scavenge for canned and prepackaged foods while waiting for your gardens to grow or while hunting animals. In a realistic scenario, wouldn't zombies be unable to move because their muscles would be rotting and shit? So realistically, wouldn't this problem solve itself by dying out in the country of origin? Depends, as they're dead. They would be dead and that's it. If we consider only their survival instinct lives as it is in The Walking Dead, they're not technically dead, so muscles would work, but so does stomach gets. They would probably dry out in 3 days or starve in a few months. So now, if we consider zombies don't need any proteins, vitamins, and whatever, they would indeed rot and wouldn't be able to walk after a while. Realistic zombies would probably some kind of rage disease where people just lose their mind but aren't dead, or a bacteria that would control human body. But anyway, it would end up the same. Maybe a few zombies would survive in the survival instinct case if they live like animals, hunting and drinking from water sources, but I doubt it. Lol. Unless they swim or get on a plane, I'm fine. Drawback to being the zombie virus, you go symptomatic too quickly. Imagine there's a ship departed to come here and someone brought their sick mom and hit her in basement due to emotional attachment. The infected ship comes to your land, then what? The inner harbor would get blown to bits by the military. It's my guess. They'd probably sink the tub at sea already thought, because once communication with it goes down, the Coast Guard would have their eyes on it right away. That's assuming they find out before any of the infected get off. A horde of brainless monsters with whom it's impossible to communicate running around causing death and destruction. Never going to happen. People you thought were friends, family being infected and turning into brainless monsters now. People running around carrying guns in the street because they think Gothlopolis can protect them, don't be daft. Having to stock up on food because supply chains are out. This hurts me. Nothing. Ever notice how zombie movies start after most people are dead? They are also almost universally set in a world where zombie wasn't a thing in pop culture. This is because zombies are not actually that big a threat to an even kind of prepared group of people. The world militaries could easily handle a zombie outbreak and worst case nuke the area. All armies, be they mechanized or mountain guerrilla, have to abide by 3 basic restrictions. They have to be bred, fed, and led. Bred, you need warm bodies or else you don't have an army. Fed, once you've got that army, they've got to be supplied and led. No matter how decentralized that fighting force is, there has to be someone among them with the authority agreed to say follow me, bread, fed, and lead, and none of these restrictions applied to the living dead. World Wars. They spoke about exactly this. Everything we know about warfare goes out the window with zombies. There's no leaders to kill, no supply line to cut, no routes to rugged, impossible, or even to cut off, and when they kill one of yours, their army grows. Yours doesn't grow in the same way. In fact, it continues to shrink with lost moral, the mad, the undisciplined, and the like, and nukes didn't help because it again doesn't work the same. If the immediate blast didn't essentially vaporize the zombie, it didn't help. They weren't concerned with fallout or lack of resources in a radiated area or get radiation sickness or anything like that. It just became an area that now had more dead and would be harder to sweep, but would certainly continue to spread. Stock up on food, guns, and knives. Want to reinforce the walls around my property, put together an elite team of fighters and survivalists. Then realize you wasted all your money because the zombies got taken care of quickly. You mean he bought all of those incredibly useful, inflation-proof items for nothing? Give the wall, guns, and knives. Dig a big pit, steal a front-end loader and a dump truck, run the zombies over with the front-end loader, then scoop them up and put them in the dump truck, haul them to the pit and burn them, cover up the pit. Zombie movies are stupid. Zombies would not be able to do the damage that they do in the movies. Head to Iceland. The country is so hard to infect and plague you in. It's Greenland. Nope, I'm thinking of Iceland. The actually extremely beautiful volcanic Iceland that the Vikings named Iceland to deter people from going there, while they named the icy plains Greenland to make it appear favorable. Iceland did horribly during the zombie outbreak and world wars. I believe it was the only place still infected a decade after the rest of the world wiped it away. I've never watched Days. I wouldn't worry. A zombie is basically just a worse version of a human. As a species, our biggest strength is our social behavior, includes speech, intelligence, ability to use tools, and throwing stuff. Seriously, no other species can match us in accuracy and force when it comes to throwing. Zombies lack all these qualities. They are also typically incredibly slow. The toddler poses more of a threat than a zombie. It's like taking a tiger and removing its claws, teeth, strength, agility, and ability to sneak. But that's the thing, it never stops coming. It doesn't need to sleep or eat or shit. Every second of every day is the mindless pursuit of proliferation of the verse itself. Because it's not a war of attrition. If 100 humans and 100 zombies face off and 50 humans die killing 100 zombies, it's now just 50 humans, 50 zombies, because every dead human is a new zombie. But you can run as far as you want, as fast as you want, but you have no choice but to stop to sleep, and they never stop coming. The zombie outbreak is a hoax. Wake up, sheeple. Go to a local tool gathering stores, or however it's called. Guns are illegal and I don't have any, and buy gathering tools like axes, those big shovels, or those pointy long things. Normal things like chainsaws, or whatever is even looks like it could do some damage. Then buy some really hard shoes, gloves, and general protective gear that's also easy to move around in, including head protection of course. Then I go to a normal food shop and get lots of canned food and other types that can last for a long time in a massive amount of water. Then I go home and with my housemate's family make sure that our house is mostly inaccessible from the outside. I live in a normal house with some space between the main gate and the house and separation all around it, not like those American houses. I would first try to break the news to everyone in my area, then set up a group. We would prepare by getting food, weapons, other supplies, and a base to survive at where they can get to, and possibly start a tour. You have the best answer.